What it is, ho, what's up?
It's so interesting to see the way beauty trends shift every 10 to 20 years. You could be the baddest bee who was the inspiration behind the image, then 10 years later be remembered as the trend that was. The big titty apocalypse to the BBL trend, now the gummy bear veneer era, these trends are able to shift a whole mindset that is supposed to be catered towards diminishing insecurity, but instead, it further drives your insecurity to seek non-existent perfection. Chasing that perfection leads to nothing but complication, whether it's societal or health, it indeed creates complication. Obviously, there's always success stories to every trend, but these crazes are also simply temporary. Because a lot of people want to climb that ladder of embracing the trend, not many people have a sense of individualism that helps them understand it's not the trend, it's the person. Most of these trends sell a false fantasy of what your life is supposed to be like after you get these procedures. You're looking for the acceptance that will help you make it through the door, but once you're there, do you really know what to do? Obviously, this isn't a one-size-fits-all, but there is a bigger picture that is more than what people want to talk about. Are you buying the look or the false fantasy of what the look can give you? Because we know it exists. The big titty apocalypse. I see the fun in it. I get it.
Get him, Carly, get him, yeah.
Distract them!
Distract him.
There he is!
What are you doing?
Breast implants have been around since the 1800s, but didn't advance to the 60s and throughout the 90s. Large breasts were also deemed as a symbol of sexiness, obviously. With celebrities like Dolly Parton, who was proud of her breasts, she was famous for her large kahunas and credited them for helping shape her hourglass figure. And then you have Pam Grier. As beautiful as she is, was a pioneer for black women in film. She chose to do nude scenes in her movies with blaxploitation because she felt like there wasn't representation in the media where black women were looked at as beautiful. She wanted to gain the audience of the male gaze so there could be a path for women of color to be deemed as attractive. She even called it the brown nipple revolution. Both women wanting to exploit that symbol of sex through their breasts. It wasn't until Pamela Anderson was running in the sand with her boobies bouncing that it really grew in popularity. Pamela became the blueprint in the 90s, and interesting enough, she kinda got discovered because of her boobs. Pamela was hot, and she had the small silhouette, the perky breasts. As beautiful as she is, she also fit the Eurocentric image of beauty. In other words, she was that bitch. Pamela starring in the most popular show in the 90s, which at one point became the most watched show on television. Securing billions of viewers a week, she became the blueprint. Women were going to surgeons with her picture. Everybody was trying to look like Pamela, and breast implant surgeries went up. The early 2000s would serve as a great testament to that. You had shows like The Girls Next Door, Jerry Springer, MTV Spring Break. Then you had the Playboy magazines and Daily Stars sexualizing women. Girl Next Door was a reality show set around Hugh Hefner and his playmates, the Bunnies. They all have relatively the same look, but shows like that wasn't inspiration. And although the girls were very young, on camera it looked like a good time. It looked like an ideal life where all you have to do is look this way and you could come along and have fun. Enjoying the perks of being a playmate and appealing to rich guys who want that trophy girl on his arm. Nothing comes without cost. A lot of these girls were trying to be in this life without understanding the true cost of what it meant. A lot of these girls were on a strict system where they had to follow Hef's rules, getting yeast infections from using baby oil as lube, and dealing with things most people would be turned off by.
I was still just gonna watch.
Okay.
And then she was like, "Aren't you gonna?" That same girl was like, "Aren't you gonna go?" It's like, you need to go. And I was like, I would rather not. And I'd seen what everybody else was doing, so I knew that this was like a 10-second thing. After that first night, like when I tried not to do it, after that I wanted to be first because there was no way I wanted going after other people.
Right, because that was the other thing is they said it was no condoms, so you all could possibly have spread something unintentionally.
Everyone's in the same situation.
Either way, it shows that large breasts have always been a fixation in the media, hence why we have old men overly sexualizing young girls even in their developing years.
There's one subject we didn't discuss. What was that? Everyone's talking about it.
What?
Well, your breasts.
My breasts.
You seem to get furious when a talk show host comes up with this subject. Okay, in general, what do you think about breast implants? Just in general.
Well, I think if that's what you want to do and that would make you happy, then I see nothing wrong with it. But I haven't done that. But I think it's sad that people, think I've done that because that makes them want to go out. And, some of the fans that look up to me, they either think bad of me or they may want to go out and do that. But that's not my fault because the press started that. But
Exactly.
if you want to do that, that's fine. But I personally wouldn't do that.
New stars like Sydney Sweeney and Billie Eilish getting more media publication because it's been a while since the media has sexualized big breast women. Regardless, breast implants was a huge trend that came with complications. Although it was common and popular to get silicone breast implants, it was actually really dangerous. In 1992, silicone implants were banned in the US because of the potential causes of diseases. This ban was alleviated in 2006, but like many surgeries, the results were often temporary and the implants would rupture. This caused thousands of lawsuits claiming that they leaked and caused connective tissue disorders and cancer. But even if they didn't rupture, there is a possibility that you would develop breast implant illness, where your body begins to act in various ways rejecting the implants.
Conversation now into what is driving women to make the decision to explant. Can you talk about this phrase breast implant illness and what that means?
Yeah, so breast implant illness is a constellation of symptoms, from fatigue to joint pain to brain fog to just not feeling well. I have patients coming into my office saying, "Doc, I feel like I'm going to die."
This is what breast implant illness looks like for me. I frequently get dry, itchy, and inflamed eyes. Random rashes appear over my body in symmetry, all over my chest, my neck, and my arms and legs. My eyes have been so dry that I've actually not been able to open them and ended up in A and E because of it. I've experienced ringing in my ears, fatigue, low mood, hair loss, anxiety, and just full body inflammation. The reason I know it's breast implant illness is that I have tried absolutely everything else to figure out what is going on with me. I've done food allergy testing and also tested my cortisol levels. I've used topical steroid creams with no effect. There's so much more I've tested for and nothing's helped. And now these implants are coming out.
So Angie, I want to ask you, here you are today, and you've been very vocal about issues, Me Too movement, and what gave you the courage to come here today and open up about the issues you've dealt with your breast implants?
Well, one, it's a women's issue that needs to be talked about. Yeah, all of us need to talk about it. And it's something that happened to me and that I went to 40 different doctors and I couldn't figure out why I was feeling bad. I went to an autoimmune specialist, I went to a brain specialist, I went to a cancer specialist. I mean, I have seen every specialist in this town to figure out why I feel the way I feel. And it's never been diagnosed until I started talking to my girlfriends. It was my girlfriends that were saying, "Hey, have you thought about, is it because of your breast implants?"
Getting implants have become better today and a bit safer, but they still pose potential risks. If anything, a lot of women who got their breast implants done usually end up removing them a decade later. Pamela Anderson understood what that look did for her in her career, and when she matured, she realized she didn't want to walk around with that image anymore.
Despite epitomizing beauty ideals back then, Anderson herself made the decision to remove her own breast implants in 1999. Speaking with Entertainment Tonight about the procedure, the barbed wire star said that she, quote, just didn't feel that it was a look that suited her anymore. Pamela Anderson said her reasoning behind removing her breast implants was that she wanted her body back to the way it was more than anything.
Feeling like they're too big, or wanting to stop back problems, or simply because the clock is ticking and they know their implants are getting old. The big titty apocalypse had a good run. Breast implants continues to be a thing, but a new trend would come through, becoming the next big thing. Literally. The BBL craze is like the double combo. Butts have always been a thing in the minority community, like duh, and the popularity of the video vixens set the blueprint to how we view our bodies today, especially Buffy the Body, who, as voluptuous as she is, was super popular in the early 2000s. Her, Melissa Ford, Gloria Velez were the top video vixens, but Buffy was able to stand out just a little bit more because of that ass. She was featured in every urban magazine, front cover, and a lot of popular music videos. She was technically the original Is Her Belt Real or Fake before you had the Kardashians taking dumbass x-rays. Buffy was the standard. Buffy, like many women, used her body as currency. For the urban community, it brought more popularity as she was getting invited for interviews and red carpet events. This ideal body trickled down to actual artists like Nicki Minaj. Nicki, beautiful as ever and a talented rapper, definitely had an understanding that if she wanted more attention, then she had to also become that sex symbol, even if her body was already shapely naturally. Then you had the original social media influencers like Blac Chyna and Kim Kardashian, who wouldn't shut up about her ass.
Really quick, guys. 3 questions.
Sure.
Hey, Kim, so what has been the weirdest rumor you've heard about yourself so far?
That I have a fake butt. It's ridiculous. It's real, people. It's real.
These women made their ass an accessory, an ass-sexory. That, like Buffy, became their brand. But unlike Buffy, their asses weren't real. These women helped popularize the BBL trend, an ever-growing trend that exploded once Instagram became popular. Instagram became the blueprint for unrealistic body standards as the asses grew bigger and bigger. In came an audience of women who wanted to follow suit, thinking that they can too drink some flat tummy tea, do some squats, and pop out with the ass like this. The problem was these booties weren't real. A lot of these influencers, not all of them, but the majority of them were selling this false gym image where they worked out, did a few squats, but in reality they got BBL or illegal injections to help them. Butt injections can actually be worse than getting a BBL because most people don't know what actually is being injected into them. It can be silicone or it can be something else. Most people just really don't know. You usually go into a room or a basement, lay down, and they inject who knows what into your ass, which looks good for the meantime, but along the line, people start having complications with their health.
All the dancers, they had big butts and they was skinny ass like me. I was like, how you get your ass that big? I know you ain't did no lipo. And they was like, well, let me tell you about this Jamaican lady in Queens. And I was like, all right, let me know about her. And then when I went over there, I'm like, damn, this is kind of crazy. And then she showed me a big jar of liquid. I don't know, she said it was silicone and whatever and whatnot. So as I lay on my stomach to get my ass done, while she was shooting whatever the crap she was shooting on my ass, I was feeling so nauseous and I was so lightheaded, and I was actually losing like respiration. That's how you say respiration. Like I couldn't breathe, and I told her like, I feel like I can't breathe. Like I felt like it felt so hot, like putting an iron on my ass. Like, Lord, I really felt like I was going to die. But luckily, Jesus loved me and I didn't. Now I got a fat ass. Shorty in jail now, because you know she killed somebody. But still got my ass fat though. And you know what I'm saying? I might die too, because I don't know what the hell she put in my ass, but I still fat though.
This very popular influencer named Body by Jay was promoting her workouts and posting her sponsorships, making a ton of money from selling workout classes, telling people that she got her ass strictly from the gym just to end up having to come clean with her enhancements because it was starting to affect her health. She had to get surgery to remove the silicone in her butt.
Have you ever thought about getting illegal butt shots, man? I'm telling you right now, don't do it. Don't ever do that stupid thing to yourself. Go to a real doctor and get real surgery.
Good afternoon, ladies and
You don't want to have to go through what I'm going through right now. Removing them and going through this pain is like something I've never ever experienced in my whole entire life.
K. Michelle is another person who swore up and down that her butt was real. She opened up about her surgeries after claiming it was real until she started developing a series of illnesses like lupus. She kept getting sick and she did it because she wanted a bigger butt and more attention from men. She was going to different doctors that looked at her butt and didn't want to help her because it was too much of a risk.
Well, I've always been curvy. It wasn't enough. You know what I'm saying? I thought I wanted to take it to the extreme, and I was like, you know, I'm having trouble with men right now. Maybe if I had a huge butt, I get even bigger love. Yeah. You know, so I thought that's what I did. I did teeth, I did butt, I did hips, and now I'm to the point where I've been getting tired of it for years, trying to kind of lipo. Now it's to the point where it's affecting my health. And we're thinking that the aching and everything that made me go and, you know, get checked for lupus is due because my butt is so big and my legs are not holding it. Wow. So people don't talk about that though. They just want you to be like, that's not it. Like, I've literally gone to doctors who don't want to touch it. I've gone to I found a doctor now, Dr. Gavami, that's going to do it for me. And you know, he said, I see this all the time. But imagine if you don't have the money to get it out.
Yeah, when this was injected, it was the size of a pinhead, and it's a hydrogel. They put it in this material, they inject it through a syringe, and there's thousands of these little pellets that basically increase 5 to 10 times its size. And we have an example here now. Look at closely what happens when water and fluid. So we have thousands of these little pellets that act like a sponge that increases the volume. So
you mentioned they might be carcinogenic. One of the hypotheses is something called polyacrylamides, and polyacrylamides are they're used to keep wounds dry, but they're not supposed to be inside your body. Externally, and they're illegal to inject anywhere.
Now a lot of girls are coming out and saying that they regret their injections and they have to get it removed. The same girls saying that they should go invest in their body before their teeth to get a man to invest in their teeth later on.
In August, I did surgery and I removed 95% of my bioperimeters. If you know what bioperimeters is ass shots. And it was a really crazy process.
Taking some of these ass shots out. And by the way, ass shots and the BBL is totally different. And I'm going to tell you why. A BBL is when they use your own fat. Ass shots is silicone. So I just want all the ladies out there to know, do not get silicone shots because you can get sick, you can die, have complications, and all this other crazy stuff.
Just to come out and say that they should have never done it. Nicki Minaj, who's famous for her injections and setting that trend, admitted herself that she looks back at the way she looked before surgery and thinks she looked fine.
Having boobs that didn't sit high enough. Right. It was a lot of things.
Right.
And when I look back at myself now, I literally was like, oh, I'm about to look like that girl again. The reason why I wasn't able to look at my old photos was I didn't like the way I looked, right? Physically. And now I love the way that person looks physically.
What changed for you?
It's very scary to feel constantly like you're in a fish bowl. Why didn't I like this? You know, it's like so weird. But seeing old photos, being able to look at old photos again, made me realize these old photos were beautiful. And that girls, right now in your life, you are beautiful. You are fine. And I guarantee you, if you change anything on your body and do all the, do anything surgical and all this, you're going to more than likely, not definitely, more than likely look back one day and say, I was fine. Just the way I was.
Yeah.
And that's what happened to me. I could not believe even some of the photos that I had done, that I didn't love.
We can't solely blame the influencers, but also the glamorization of social media that made people want to get surgery. When Dr. Miami started recording his surgeries on Snapchat, although we saw the gore, people were also fascinated with how easy it really was to go get a 10K surgery and come out looking like Kim Kardashian. Dr. Miami set off the trend when he himself, as popular as he was, botched a lot of girls, and although there's a lot of success stories, even the best doctors mess up. BBLs became such a trend with social media that everybody and their mama was flying down to the DR, Costa Rica, Mexico to go get their bodies done for a cheaper price. It got to the point where a lot of plastic surgery places in the US were having discounts and giving people BBLs for cheap. But of course, sometimes you pay the price for a cheap procedure. A lot of people, as understandable as it is to want to get rid of an insecurity, they start putting surgery before their own responsibilities and obligations. Ice Spice even got exposed stating that her mom would rather get surgery, flaunting her body, than get a house for her own kids. A lot of people also get BBLs for a certain lifestyle. Maybe the people with a BBL get more tips or get a little bit more attention.
Her brother says Dania also hoped the surgery would help her at work.
So when she was a waitress serving, she would always tell me like, Papa, all these girls have mini skirts and they're young. I want to compete with them for tips. I'm getting my surgeries.
For tips.
Just for tips.
As a doctor, her grandfather Marcio knew the risks of surgery and was opposed to Dania having the procedure, so she kept it from him.
You would have stopped her?
Oh, immediately. No question about it.
They're getting BBLs hoping to get a certain lifestyle like we see with Jada Wada or Ari, because most athletes or rapper girlfriends have BBLs and they see it as the key to attracting those type of guys. Or just any guys in general. A lot of girls say that guys prefer girls with BBLs, even though most guys say they prefer natural.
Do you think men prefer a natural body or a BBL? BBL.
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 BBL. BBL. BBL.
BBL.
BBL.
BBL.
BBL. BBL.
Do you prefer natural bodies or BBL bodies?
Natural. 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 Natural.
But we all know what natural means. The ideal body for a female is an hourglass figure, so we know what their definition of natural is. There's so many good BBLs out there, it's easily accessible and can change how people view you if done right. But it also comes with some shallowness where people feel like if you're not IG presentable, then they won't want to party with you or hang out with you because you don't have that look.
Ain't a certain type of look. If she don't look how I want her to look physically, I don't want her to come, because the look of everything is so important to me. Like, if she ain't thick enough, nope. Her not did good enough, nope. Can't dress, nope. Skinny, nope. And it's like, I don't feel like I'm discriminating. I just want a certain type of look. She could be the sweetest girl I ever met in my life, but if she don't look the part, I don't want her to come. Like, that's just not the vibe I'm on. Now, she can come to the cookout. She can come to the listening party. But the club, I feel like, gotta look a certain way.
Now her second round of BBL looks goofy. BBL started becoming so accessible that the trend started shifting again, where people were wanting to slim down and go for a more natural look instead of the exaggerated BBL. The accessibility made it lose its spark.
Do you have a certain type of girl? Like, do you like me? I tell you what I like. So we, like, again, I don't want to seem like I'm interrogating you. I want to speak with you. Me, I like super thick, big old ass. What about you? What's your type?
I like thick girl.
Yeah.
But I ain't against skinny girls. I used to be though. I used to like them light skinny girls.
Right.
Like now, skinny girls cool. You know what I'm saying? I like.
Is the BBL going out of style?
I don't really know if it's going out of style, but like too much is like, all right, everybody got it now. You know, it's just, when everybody got something, kind of go out of style then.
Yeah.
You know?
Even the ones that they used to be a quality associated with the body done.
Right,
now it's damn near anybody.
So that's why it's kind of like played out a little bit.
Yeah.
Like regular girls.
Yeah.
Rich girls.
Yeah.
Broke girls.
Yeah.
That's when it's like played out.
The Kardashians started slimming down, Nicki Minaj, Black China. People were getting their fillers dissolved to fit the clean girl aesthetic. You know, the internet be making stuff up every 6 months. It's simple for celebrities to go back and reverse their BBL and go skinny, but the girls who got botched, it's not as easy for them to turn back and get it fixed. Even the girls who already had a naturally slim, thick appearance went to get BBLs just to end up regretting it. Winter from BGC already had a very nice shape, and it's easy to say, oh, if she dedicated 6 months to the gym, she could have got a more thicker shape, which is true, but she decided to get a BBL anyways, and she ended up regretting it because they completely botched her up.
Okay, so I'm going to show you guys some very wild-ish. This is not an edited picture, and I am not able to tell you guys who my first doctor was, because I did sign an NDA in order to get all of my money back. But why I do not be trying to like really tell people to get a BBL is because my first BBL went like this, and I thought I was doing a great thing by not leaving the United States to get a BBL. I thought I was making the right choice by spending that extra money. I thought I was like, you know, doing the right thing. I have not showed this picture to anybody except for like my immediate friends, like my family, people who ask me about it in person. Y'all are going to be astonished. This is not an edited picture. This is me with my butt like clenched. And also the doctor who did fix this, actually, before I even say that, I went to 3 different doctors in the US to try to have them fix this, and they literally would not touch me. They said that they could not do it and there was no possible way they could fix it. I finally found Dr. Zhang. Shout out to Dr. Zhang in Houston. And he saved my life. Not my literal life, but I had to pretty much walk around with compression shorts for like almost a year before I got this fixed. Here it is. And this is not edited at all. Nope. It is just so crazy looking back now, because now my body is perfect. Like, I mean, I could lose 10 pounds. But Dr. Zhang, that is not a joke, y'all. That is not a joke. Not a joke. Not a joke. And I wish I could tell you guys about the details of like everything that happened, but since I signed an NDA, I really can't, or I will get sued. But it was a fucked up situation. Oop, a messed up situation, and I was depressed for a whole year. It was terrible. Be careful about these BBLs. Be careful who you go to. Honestly, just try to work out. But if you do decide to get a BBL, do extensive, crazy research, for real. Because I thought I did enough, and I did not. Look.
Yes, the BBL looked good at first, but she started having complications.
Bumped my butt cheek on something, and it like got hella swollen and red, and I thought that I was like had an infection in my butt cheek. I called my mom crying my eyes out. I'm so sick of this. Like, I can't keep dealing with this. Like, I just want this shit gone. Like, I don't know what to do anymore. Like, I never can like be happy, but it's like I'm not doing these things because I'm like, oh, I want a bigger butt and a smaller waist.
Trying to fix it.
I'm just trying to fix the damn original problem from 3 years ago.
Wow.
So it just keeps adding and keeps going, and I'm just.
And this was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, this just happened.
And it did it.
Yeah, it was fine. It went back, but I was like,
it's scary.
I was Googling shit like, my leg gonna fall off. Oh my God, do I really know what they put in my butt? Like, was this illegal fillers? Like, it was just like a whole thing. And it's scary. And then also on top of it, just getting a BBL in general is so dangerous.
Yeah, it is.
It's so dangerous. And then I feel like with my revision, I literally felt like I was gonna die on the 5th day. I told my mom I really felt like I was gonna die.
I believe it.
Yeah,
I
it was.
I went with my sister, and I thought my sister was going to die.
Yeah, it was scary. I lost hella fucking blood. Like, I had like the craziest headaches I've ever experienced. Couldn't stand up. I was like pitch paper white. Like, it was terrible. It was like the worst thing ever.
So why do you feel like, well, 2 questions. 1, do you feel like it was worth it? And B, why do you feel like women, because that ain't the first time we've heard that. I feel 100%. Like every single person that I know who has had a BBL, type of issue. They're like, this is the worst pain I've ever experienced in my life. I've never, Jesus. But then I hear people that experience that and be like, but I would do it again.
Yep. Right.
Or, well, because you forget about it. Or
why
is this so important that we do this?
Unfortunately for her, that's not the only botched surgery Winter has gotten. She already had good porcelain veneers, and she decided to get them redone, and the dentist completely ruined her teeth. She's in constant pain and has to wear night guard that night, getting severe TMJ. It has completely affected her way of life.
I know that I look crazy, and it's so embarrassing to come crying on the internet, but this stuff that I have been dealing with for 2 years because of my freaking teeth is like, I don't even know what to do anymore. And like, the only place I can really go to is my platforms. As everybody pretty much knows, 2 years ago, I had dental work done at Smile Dental Center 32 in Miami, and it ruined my life. Like, literally ruined my life. And I'm still dealing with it to this day. And I just left another doctor, another TMJ doctor. This is the 3rd or 4th one that I've gone to. And I'm just very overwhelmed. Like, the medical industry, the dental industry in America is like, they literally do not care about what you are going through. Like, everything is about money for them. And like, I understand, like, people have to get paid, but it's like, the fact that like I can't do anything, like I can't use insurance, I can't do anything. I've already spent $80,000 pretty much on this whole situation in 2 years, and I go to another TMJ doctor because I have severe TMJ now because of the veneers that Smile Dental Center did. They lost my bite. I have severe TMJ. I got my teeth redone. It didn't fix it. That was another $30,000. It's just like,
I just had an appointment, and like, you know, they're telling me like, okay, we could do this, and it, you know, it could be a big money pit, and you know, it could be, you know, another 80K, and you know, it might not work. Like, I spent so much money with so many doctors just praying that something works for me, and nothing works, and nothing ever works. I don't know what to do anymore. Like, I can't even sue the freaking dentist every time I come on here telling my story about what happened, which is a crazy ass story. I'm like, just sue. Why don't you sue? If I could sue, that would be the first thing I'm doing, but I can't do that. It's not possible. Like, can't sue for my sensory issues. My sensory issues are unknown. Every time I go to a doctor, they've never heard of it. And you can't prove that they gave you these issues because there's no way to diagnose it specifically. Like, it's just a whole thing. They offered to give me my money back within the first year, and I told them no, so that I could bring awareness, because like, people are just like, you know, out there getting veneers and whatever the case may be. Like, my life is literally ruined because I got my teeth redone. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, I'm constantly in pain. I can't even close my mouth properly. I have to wear a retainer every single day, 24/7 pretty much, to even close my mouth comfortably. No bite adjustments can fix it. Nothing. I've done 100 bite adjustments. I've gone to 10 different dentists, 4 different TMJ doctors. I've done integrative medicine. I've done acupuncture. I've done everything you could possibly. I've done hypnosis. I've literally done everything you could possibly do to try to fix these issues. I've been called crazy by my primary care doctor at Kaiser. They told me to see a therapist because what I'm going through. At this point, like, I just don't know what to do. I'm in severe pain. I've gotten freaking masseter Botox twice. My fucking face is slim the fuck out. Like, I look crazy as fuck because I'm in pain 24/7. It's just, I guess my only thing is just don't get fucking veneers, and know that like something like this can ruin your life, like literally. And quite frankly, I'm not giving nobody else 80 fucking bands. Like, no, I'm not doing it. Like, the fact that these people are so like, just everything is so money driven, and like, I understand, but it's like, this shit is like really medical for me. Like, why does nobody care about people in chronic pain without you having to fucking spend 80 bands?
Now we enter the gummy bear veneer era. I do think this does touch on a deeper topic of how dentistry is very unaffordable. A lot of people aren't able to get proper care for their teeth, and their teeth end up rotting or decaying, and it's so expensive to fix, so they seek other alternatives with veneers. But you can't just slap veneers on a bad teeth, because that smell, your oral hygiene, it just doesn't go away once you slap a pretty smile in your mouth. That stuff lingers, and it gets worse as time goes on. There's a lot of misconceptions about how important your teeth are. Bad oral hygiene can lead to heart disease and a stroke, infections. A tooth infection or a periodontitis allows bacteria to enter the systemic bloodstream, affecting the other body areas and systems. Bacteria and inflammation creates the interaction between teeth and organs. So when people do run to get veneers and they don't actually have anything wrong with their teeth, it's very questionable because it's unnecessary. Unless you're paying big bucks, which can range from $30,000 to $50,000. You're better off leaving your teeth alone than finding a quick fix.
Today we're slicing off these veneers that were done at another office only 6 months ago because there are openings along the gum line where the patient is getting food stuck underneath and it's basically just leaking. So this is with a layer of porcelain removed. This tooth also was affected, and basically I removed a layer of porcelain, and you can see that the darkness is getting more and more obvious. Now, I wish I had a video of when the entire veneer was removed because it was pretty dark underneath there, but we had to clean it all up, and the tooth next door also was affected, so we had to replace that one. Here I'm showing the prep. Basically, if a tooth is prepped like a crown already, I cannot make it back into a veneer because the tooth structure is already gone. But we cleaned that all up and then put her in temporaries, and
I can't knock anyone for wanting a better smile, but it's crucial that you do your research on who you go to for your teeth, because a toothache is absolutely no joke. It's the worst type of pain to have, and it actually does affect your daily life. I spoke about this in my veneers to dentures pipeline video, which you guys should watch if you want more insight. Insecurity about your teeth is one thing, but getting veneers because it's a trend is another.
My teeth done. I got my teeth done. Honestly, I'm not even gonna sit up here and lie to y'all. I ain't got no fake story. I ain't got no sad story. I ain't got none of that going on. I got my teeth done because it was popular at the moment. I know it's dumb as hell, but anyway, it was popular. It was popping. Like, people been getting their teeth done for years. Like,
plus the problems that develop because you got this pretty smile, like excessive sensitivity.
This is how I have to drink with my veneers. I have to put the straw to the back of my mouth so that nothing is hitting this front, like, part of my mouth at all. Like, wrinkles much, yeah, that's how you gotta do it. It's not cute, like, but how sensitive your teeth are is unreal. And it could be like from anywhere from 6 months to a year. So if you're thinking about getting veneers, don't say I didn't let you know. Like, that teeth sensitivity is insane. But I mean, look at your teeth.
Veneers can be a great life-changing experience. You just really have to do your research and be cautious of who you go to. Also understand that you have to maintain your teeth for the rest of your life. So if you feel like you won't have the funds within the first year to 10 years, if they actually chip or accidentally fall off, then you shouldn't get them.
People are just like, you know, out there getting veneers and whatever the case may be. Like, my life is literally ruined because I got my teeth redone. Like, I'm not even joking. Like,
have y'all ever seen anyone cut out a piece of their hip bone and then put in a replacement hip for funsies? No? Okay. You guys let people go in your mouth and shave down your one set of adult teeth. Shave them down so low that you can never wear your natural teeth ever again, and then replace them with veneers as a first step option. You guys skipped every other step in orthodontics. There was no braces, there are no Invisalign, no teeth shaving and shaping, no lighting, no nothing. You guys went straight to veneers. I'm convinced that it's not the plastic surgeons, it's not the general surgeons, it's not the PAs, it's not the nurses, it's not the DDSs, it's not the DMDs, it's y'all. Y'all don't listen. Y'all do not listen. All the advice is literally there in the beginning. Lipo before you've reached your adult weight, BBLs and hip injections that are not going to be supported by your frame, implants that are too big for your shoulders, lip fillers or fillers in general that are not conducive to your face shape. All the advice is there in the beginning, but if you're deaf in the beginning, you're going to cry at the end. We are not in a thinking generation.
Unfortunately for the people who got them for trends, you're gonna have to go through the rest of your life maintaining the veneers or being in pain because they weren't done right. You could live without your boobs, you could live without your ass, but baby, you cannot live without your teeth. Well, that concludes today's video. It's so funny that the way trends come and go. I understand that things change, but you should always step into your confidence and individualism. In my opinion, I think the greatest testament to that is Rihanna. Although Rihanna has always been drop dead gorgeous, she also has never changed herself. She never ran to get a little bit more booty, and we all know Rihanna ain't got no ass. Well, she didn't have no ass. She didn't get a boob job. She kept her itty bitty titties. She kept her teeth. She was able to sell sex by simply being confident. And she tapped into things, even in her least confident days, to make her feel good, which is her fashion. Find something that makes you feel whole instead of following the trend. Well, thank you guys for tuning in, and make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. Toodles!